Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we have an opportunity to talk with the visionary leader in the area of technology and innovation. He is making some major contribution in shaping the landscape in the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and also the blockchain. His expertise span from the text analysis to anomaly detection, truly showcasing the breadth of their impact. Without further ado, I am thrilled to welcome Michael Collins, the global CTO of Techno Exponent and the co-founder and CTO of Alphakode, subsidiary of Techno Exponent. Thank you so much, Michael, sir, for joining us today and giving me an opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Great to know, great to know. So, Michael, just to I'm a very intrigued kind of a person. So, after knowing more about Techno Exponent and you and Alpha Code, I just happened to reach out to one of my teammates to start this podcast with. So, I'm an intrigued person, so I would like to ask a few questions for you. Will that be fine for you?
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Okay, great to know. So, first thing first, please tell me a bit about yourself and how you came up with this company. Like, what inspired you to the venture, the field of AI and machine learning?
Appreciate it. I've always had an interest in technology since a kid. I'm sure many of us who started in the field had that kind of desire, that passion for it, that interest in it. Began my career though in the Navy, U.S. Navy, where I did IT as well as I hold a number of degrees in the field. My interest was sparked really in the practical implications of the technology and the importance it can have for businesses. I started with applied machine learning as something I became familiar with. I learned how to develop with scikit-learn and other related Python packages. But as we kind of started to look at the landscape, we realized that there was a ton of opportunities for businesses to really improve productivity, efficiency, automation, leveraging all these great things that we were learning. And so we began to expand our team and experience to handle a full array of machine learning, AI kind of services and issues.
Okay, okay, great to know. It's very you got into so much, and after being the US veteran, you got so much of enthusiasm, like get into something very complex and very new to this world. So appreciate your effort in this. So let's get to the next question. I believe your company offers a diverse range of services, starting from AI to the intense blockchain. So, could you please
Mm.
give me a review of the key service that you provide and how they address the real world problems today?
Yeah, so I know. So there's a number of things that we kind of dive into. So text analysis to give brands and organizations insights from large document sets. Recommendation systems. Those are great to help put give users a preference or kind of an activity to do based on things that they've already done, to kind of keep them using your system, keep them excited about all the kind of things that organization is doing. Text to speech, which is as described, allows you to translate text into speech into a number of languages, as well as anomaly detection, which is really detecting different patterns or identifying patterns that are different from what normally would happen. And so that can be leveraged across data sets as well as across actual objects with vision anomaly detection. And on the blockchain side of things, we handle the full spectrum of tooling and integrations across the ecosystem. So from leveraging different node networks like Alchemy to different networks or tokens such as Matic, Polygon, Ethereum, as well as different storages, as well as other kind of any other things we need to do like wallets, integrations, and those type of things across the blockchain.
Diverse, great diversity you have in your company. Great. So, you just told me about text analysis, right? So, let's
Mhm.
dive into a bit more into text analysis right now. How does your text analysis services work, and what kind of insights can business gain from it?
Yeah, so text analysis can help really any firm to really review and process documents really quickly. And so some of the kind of big use cases you can think of will be in under financial services, legal, as well as beyond. They use a lot of documents, and so they increasing productivity, efficiency, and how they analyze to get summaries, to get insights from those documents is super important for those industries as well as others. One real world example, let's say you have a new law that was passed and an organization needs to understand all the exact details and the changes that happen. Text analysis can allow that organization to do this more efficiently, to really understand the key things and begin to advise their clients or advise their organization on what things to update, implement, change rapidly. And so that gives organizations an edge if they really use this type of tooling to really speed up their review process of documents.
Okay. So, like, can you give me a real world example of how it helped your clients? I don't want the
Yeah,
name,
so
just how it helped.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, absolutely. So using that new law that passed example, that's definitely one. So what will happen is an organization will intake, let's say, a bill that was passed in Congress or on the state legislative side. They would intake that, compare it with what's already kind of been passed previously, and see what the variations are inside that bill, so that organization can begin to take actions based on the new guidelines, the new regulations, the new rules that they need to follow. And so that's one example of how it's being leveraged and how we're kind of helping clients really identify that. So that's more of a legal compliance area where you can quickly identify the changes and that apply to your organization, and then update your teams and your clients around those new rules and regulations.
Okay, that's huge, very huge.
Mm, mm.
So, like, we are more into e-commerce right now. Everyone loves shopping.
Yeah.
So, many are familiar with recommendation system over here. So, like, can you elaborate on how your recommendation system operates and how does it goes beyond traditional approach?
Yeah, so definitely recommendation systems, as you say, everyone's familiar with it at least they, even if they don't know what the label of it, it's called a recommendation system. They see it in their e-commerce, they see it in streaming when they use different type of video platforms, YouTube, Netflix, etc., to get recommendations on, videos they're currently watching, to watch more videos that are related to that. But beyond that, you can leverage it in a number of kind of unique ways that I think allow you to not only market better, but really connect in a deeper way with your clients, your customers. And so from a marketing perspective, it can definitely be more broadly applied to kind of help organizations leverage it to identify the best users to promote services to in a smart and automated way, as well as figure out approaches to for how you present that offering based on the user's activities, right? And so we're currently working on a similar approach for a marketing firm. And so they have a bunch of data, they have a bunch of kind of insights they get from their customers, but how do they best approach that and give those users a more personalized experience that you sometimes can't get, or it's much more costly to get if you had a team analyzing all those documents and all those kind of data sets. And so we're leveraging AI in that way to help them make recommendations, help them know who they should segment, who they should target, so that they can begin to do that in a more efficient way and increase productivity, so that their team can be leveraged in more different areas or different ways inside the organization.
Okay, that's huge. So, like, you only shared the success story. I don't want to ask that question to you.
Okay,
So let
sure.
me let me move to the another thing. What I personally feel is like text to speech today is very fascinating so much.
Yeah.
So how does your solution stand out over here in terms of quality and versatility? What do you have to
Yeah,
say in the
so
scenarios?
oh, for sure. So it's definitely a fascinating technology. It's one of those things that really, um, for a lot of people, clients, it gives you kind of that wow, because you're taking something. We're used to hearing these supercomputer, like robotic people talking, but now it's being kind of advanced in such a way where it feels lifelike. You can translate
Mm,
any kind of text to make it feel kind of like me and you are conversating currently. In addition, you can leverage a number of different languages, and so that allows it opens up the world to a lot of different people, a lot of different readers. And so I think on the use cases and where I'm seeing a lot of potential impact is in the gaming industry, because you can leverage that to make those games more applicable, broadly speaking, to more
Mm-hmm.
regions, and still give that user a great experience, as well as just accessibility. So allowing people who maybe have some impairment, allow them to really understand text that they otherwise would have a hard time hearing, and understanding in a more natural sounding way. And I think those are kind of the use cases where it can have a
Okay.
big impact, and that's what makes it kind of exciting, because it's one of those technologies where it becomes real. You're not just seeing the back end of it; you see the front end of it, where you hear someone's beautiful voice is really a robot, or but it sounds like real to us. So that's exciting.
Exactly. So, like, in what scenarios do you believe that this technology will create impactful change?
So I think it's in gaming and accessibility. So
Okay.
I'll kind of so I'll dive into that a little bit more. So on the gaming side, let's say it's a role player video game where you're acting as a character and you're going across different worlds, and then you're interacting with a bunch of different characters in that ecosystem. But now those characters, you can click a button, change the language, and now they sound just the same. The script is working, the whole kind of flow is working, based on whatever language, whatever country you're in, to really bring that experience for a broader kind of global set. And then on accessibility, so a person, let's say, a user is reading something in a newspaper online, or online news source, and they have a vision impairment, and so they rely on text to speech. And
Hmm.
so now you can easily integrate that into different news sources to give people an option to hear it instead of just having to read it. In addition, so that makes that experience for those users that are in addition, for people who don't have those those needs. It also just makes it easier to go through content. So now, instead of me having to read a document or read a news article, I can click play. I can turn the speed up to 2x, and so now what would normally take me 5 minutes to read it, I'm listening to it in like 2 minutes, right? And so those are some of the kind of practical ways it can be used.
Okay. That's great. That's very easy and very time-saving thing, what you are just telling me. So
Mm.
let's move to the next question. Like, could you please explain how your anomaly detection service operates in the metrics space? Like, how does it enhance decision making for others?
Yeah, so first to start, like anomaly detection sounds like a big word, if you will, a big phrase. So what is
Hmm.
that? It's really about identifying patterns, or helping people identify patterns in their data that are really outside of the normal. And so this can be useful in a number of areas, particularly anything that deals with transactions that happen on a regular basis. So some of those areas can include like fraud detection, IT security, equipment management. And so let's kind of dive into each one of those. So on a fraud detection flow, it can be leveraged for well, kind of a couple ways, but credit cards is one use case. So a user has a certain pattern, and all of a sudden now they're making $10,000 transactions in one day. It's an anomaly from what they normally purchase. You can give them alerts, freeze the card, or have them kind of respond to some query, and we've all kind of experienced that. And so we kind of understand what that looks like. On the IT security side, for organizations and businesses, um, they can be getting, so let's say on their logs they're getting requests from regions that normally don't give them requests, right? And so you start
Okay.
to see those different type of regions give those users, that their systems, different requests, or different kind of IPs from different regions, and maybe it's a surge of those type of users that normally aren't your regular user base. And so that can alert your security team to take actions, to take preventative actions, to kind of either look into it further, make some security measures to change it, or make some updates before it really impacts the system, because that can sometimes give you a cue or insights that maybe someone is trying to hack into a system, or do some other things that you don't want them to do. And on the equipment management side, so there can be a number of use cases, but one in particular, especially for equipment that can be connected to systems, you can begin to identify maintenance periods for equipment, keep your team updated on when those maintenance periods should be done, and then make sure that you're expanding or extending the life of your equipment so that you don't have to, let's say if you manage your maintenance on a regular basis, let's say it will last 10 years, but if you don't or you delay it, now your equipment is lasting 5 or 6 years. And so that reduces cost, saves money, and then increases safety as well, because equipment failures can cause impacts to people, and so we don't want any of those type of things to happen.
That's huge. Like you have already spoken about how it improves safety and efficiency in different domains of the business today. So that's something very is useful for the market right now, especially for the banking sector, if you ask me. That's great. Allow me a moment, Michael. Just a minute. Okay. So like we have done with the visual data and the AI thing. Now let's move the important improvement that has been done in the AI right now. It's the blockchain. So like moving to the blockchain, how does your company leverage this technology, Michael?
So it's a big and exciting technology, just like AI, and so we leverage it in a number of ways, quite a bit for clients. So there can be a number, kind of broadly speaking, big things that we do for clients. So developing smart contracts, and so we use a number of programming languages to develop those smart contracts. So what is a smart contract? It allows you as a client or a customer to automate, if you will, based on activities or actions that happen. So let's say we built a platform that allows the users an NFT marketplace. And so in that marketplace, let's say you're selling an image and a digital image. I purchase that digital image and then I resell it to someone else I know. And so in that resale flow, we pass out royalties. We set it up where that original creator will get royalties from each subsequent sale. And so a smart contract allows you to do those type of things, as well as building NFTs, wallets. Wallets is how you manage your currency, if you will, or your assets, as well as connecting to a number of nodes on the back end to really make all of this stuff work. So connecting to connection nodes as well as storage nodes to kind of save those things, but all in a blockchain way.
Okay. Well, after hearing so much from you and the guidance and everything, what I believe that you provide a diverse set of services. So like how do you ensure that your solutions seamlessly integrate into your client existing system?
So as you kind of led off with, Alphakode is a subsidiary of Techno Exponent, and so in addition to our core AI team and etc., we have a large hundreds of people behind us supporting us when we need to scale up or to do anything. So we can be your one-stop solution for all your IT service needs, whether that's software development, AI, blockchain. We can do it all, and we have experience and the technical know-how to deliver it, not only efficiently within our team, but scale it up as you grow, as your needs advance.
Okay. So what I can hear from you, it's like you guys work together, Alphakode and Techno Exponent. So like, do you encourage collaboration with other tech companies or industries?
Absolutely. We love to collaborate. Sometimes there's opportunities where we can leverage additional support if needed for different very specific requirements of a client, or we'll collaborate for networking, roundtables and the like, to really share knowledge, share best practices across the industry. And so that can include speaking to students, giving back in that way, connecting with other experts in the field to really kind of share the knowledge, doing like I mentioned, those roundtables or public speaking things, to share all the great things that are happening in technology, so that it's not only we know about it, but the larger community, the communities we are around and that support us can be aware of it, so they can impact their lives in a good way.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. So, Michael, I just have only one more question for you. Thanks a lot for bearing with me till now. So, the
Mm-hmm.
last question is like in the rapidly evolving field of AI and technology, what challenges do you foresee and how does your company stay ahead of the curve?
For sure. So I think so. We're staying ahead of the curve. We're one of the few pure AI technology firms in the marketplace with this type of expertise and know-how. But broadly speaking, though, when you look at AI and the impact, it will really have a big human impact. And
Mm,
so there's with and there's so many ways that AI can improve productivity, efficiency, and so there's going to be a big human impact. And so, what's societies at large, governments, organizations, communities, there will be a need to retrain to get people aware of like what skills they should be developing, what things they should be doing to stay ahead, because it's going to really take an effort. There's going to be new jobs that are created and new opportunities that are created. So we have to make
mm.
sure our communities and the people are getting retrained and reskilled for things that are going to be needed in the future world with AI and blockchain and all those kind of advances that are going to continue to happen.
Okay, okay. So, like, what exciting development or projects can I expect from your team in the future?
Oh, so you can excite a lot of exciting and interesting projects across all the kind of areas you mentioned. I mean, we're really excited about a number of things. So on the anomaly detection side, text to speech, recommendation systems. There's a few kind of things we're in the pipeline for recommendation systems to help a slew of companies with how they remarket to their users. And so we're excited about that. And we're excited about all the kind of diving deeper on the research side as our CEO is kind of getting heavier in that space as well. And so diving into that, having those kind of not only practical things being released, but also the research side being released. So we're trying to cover it on both angles, so we stay not only give businesses good value on practical things, but also stay on the cutting edge by diving deeper into research and things like that.
Okay, that's great to hear. Thank you so much, Michael, for like sharing so much with me today on very short notice. I really appreciate your patience and like answering every question of mine. Thank you so much once again, Michael.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, and uh, hopefully we can connect to do another podcast in the future.
For sure, I'll just definitely look forward to it. Like hoping for your projects to get live and I get to see all those development and advancements soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice day, Michael. Thank you so
You
much.
too. Thank you.